Okay, that's George Orwell, who wrote in a great essay, This Sporting Life, about the fact that that basically sport is war without the shooting. And it put me in mind of the notion that, you know, we're in an electoral cycle at the moment, and we're in the middle of a sporting competition with the Six Nations at the moment. This is the Olympics, the original Olympics, which was conceived of in Greece as basically a way of city-states to apply themselves politically and to flex their muscles. This is the modern Olympics, set up by a Frenchman, again designed to not so much to encourage war and so on, which happened in the gladiatorial contest in the Colosseum, but more to appeal to the better angels of our nature and try and get some kind of international coherence and some kind of brotherhood of man. In terms of the development of sport, the British Empire was one of the biggest factors in spreading sport all over the world. You had rugby, association football, cricket, and so on, which the civil servants of the burgeoning empire developed. This is the ashes, which is the burnt ashes of a cricket stump, which bizarrely is fought over by England and Australia in an interminable game of cricket, which goes on seemingly for weeks. But which the English and the Australians take very, very seriously. This is a remarkable game of football which took place on Christmas Day in 1917 between German and British troops at the front. And in some ways, the First World War obviously was one of the greatest kind of outworkings of the demise of imperialism. Here we have, you know, the ugly side of sport, the tribalism that it engenders, and, you know, particularly when there are religious and political undertones, as well as kind of issues of nationality. You have, you know, the mild-mannered can quickly turn mean, and that's not to say that Rangers and Celtic supporters are particularly mild-mannered, but there's a political undertone to all sporting occasions. This is the haka, which is performed by the New Zealand rugby team to inspire terror in their opposition. They're pretty good at rugby as well, so in some ways this is a bit unnecessary. But it's from a Maori war dance. This is one of the greatest uses of sport as a connector in politics. This is Nelson Mandela with Francois Pienaar. Mandela used the 1995 Rugby World Cup in South Africa to reach out to the Afrikaners. This is a bit of a leap now from Mandela to Sean Kelly, but he did actually do something similar in that the Rule 42, which was the banning of the foreign games in Croke Park, was abolished in order that soccer and rugby could come in. And in some ways it was, in some ways it was similar to what Mandela did with rugby and keeping the Springboks together. So the opening of Croke Park helped keep Gaelic games alive. Huge funds coming in from soccer and rugby being played, and the apotheosis of it, this wonderful moment in 2007, which we all remember. Again, a very political moment with the England and Ireland playing one another in rugby, and the silence as God Save the Queen was played in Croke Park, the venue of a great massacre during the War of Independence. Of course, sport leads people to believe that they can get involved in politics. These are two likely characters. Sebastian Coe, who was actually a Tory MP in the UK, and a Russian dude who was in the Russian Parliament, quite mad. And of course Jack Lynch, who was a great hurler in Cork in the 1960s and became Taoiseach in the 60s and 70s and so on. Politics again came in. This is Jesse Owens during the Olympics in Berlin in 1936, which Hitler wanted to be a great showcase for, you know, notions of racial purity and so on, and it was turned on its head. Again, politics comes in. This is the Black Panthers at the 1980 Olympics. Tommy Smith with the Black Panther salute to just underline the notion of the way in which black people had in some ways been used as gladiators of the modern era. And again, this is something, you know, which happened in boxing as well. I mean, on the one hand, it gave, you know, boxing gave black people a way to get out of poverty and so on. but in another way it was, you know, a middle class white occupation, and they were gladiators. And then there's golf, which I hate. But the tie-up is that golf has given us our general election because of a certain match played between Sean Fitzpatrick and Brian Cann. So.